Hey guys, how you doing? It's KJ here from the Scariest Movie Ever Made. Wanted to put this video out there for you because it's right in line with a lot of the things I kind of connect with. I believe that a lot of times in our world, I believe God works in metaphors. I believe that there's metaphors all around us. We just have to have the eyes to see and the ears to hear. A lot of times on my channel we'll cover the Illuminati symbolism and things as well. Well, like I said, I think the same premise also applies to the world in general. So if you're not familiar with my work on my channel, please check some of this stuff out. Found something really interesting here. It's definitely a prophetic sign. It's the way I see it. And I think a lot of people may have missed it. So I want to cover a few things about the Pope and this really wild sign and what happened. And then something new. Just over the last 24 hours, there's a new news story that came out of Russia and the Ukraine. It's very interesting. So I want to cover that as well. Anyway, as far as the Pope goes, the last few popes have been really creepy. I think we can all agree on that. No offense to the Catholics out there. I'm no big fan of religion in general, but I'm a huge fan of my Catholic friends that are truly faithful people. It's not about the people in these buildings. I'm not a fan of the buildings. I think a lot of the people are really well-meaning and well-intentioned and really good people, good spiritually, together people. But that being said, we're living at a time right now where all the old systems are dying. I've covered some of this stuff about, the fourth age and the fifth age, and moving into the fifth age right now. The fourth age was the age of Pisces, is the age of Pisces. I really feel we're just kind of right in that moving over period right now. But that was a time of systems, of order. We're moving into the age of Aquarius, and that's where everything's going to kind of change. And we're seeing that in so many ways. So a lot of changes happening in society, in the world in general. Politically, there's so many things happening, and spiritually, and religious battles, and everything else. So everything's happening right now, and it's all going to coalesce into one world order. This is kind of where everything's headed. We've covered that as well. There are secret societies out there that are kind of navigating the entire world system into one. This is kind of where we're heading. As we do, I believe we're given signs and symbols, quite often to kind of put stuff out there and hopefully get the knowledge out there and wake some people up. But anyway, with the popes. So the new pope, he's definitely a rock star. He's been on the cover of the Rolling Stone. This Pope Francis I'm talking about here. And he was also on the cover of The Advocate, which is a gay magazine, so they're big fans of him as well. And he's already done a lot of really controversial things. One of the biggest things he put out there is he said that atheists are going to go to heaven. The atheists will see God. So, essentially there's really no reason to believe in God. Guys, this really shouldn't come as any surprise. We know the Catholic Church has been being exposed for a long time now in a lot of ways with all the kid rape, and that's really getting out there. But that was just one of the wounds. I think we're really starting to get to the heart of the beast now, and more things are coming out of there that are pretty wild. So we got that Pope. Some other interesting signs. We had the Vatican actually get struck by lightning not long ago. That was very interesting as well. And then we come to the doves and kind of the main drive of the story. So for the last 3 years, the popes, the last couple I guess were Ratzinger, and then this one is Pope Francis's first, but they give these peace prayers. And the last 3 years they've done these peace prayers. As part of the prayer, they release a dove. Well, each time they've released these doves, these last 3 years, they're getting attacked by other birds, or they're just freaking out. So here's one right here. It just happened not long ago, and this is really kind of one of the big things I wanted to show you. So, the Pope releases his peace doves, and just given his big prayer for peace. But where was he? He was in the Ukraine. It's kind of the wild thing, he was in the Ukraine giving this big prayer for peace, and the peace doves got attacked by 2 other birds, by a crow and a seagull. So, if that's not some kind of a sign, I don't know what is, and we have to keep that in mind. These kind of signs happen all around us all the time, and even on that note, let's cover this here. Like I said, it's not the first time that's happened. Here's a story, the recent troubled history of papal peace doves, or is it papal? I'm not sure, but so we got that. So I'll just read a little bit from here. They're talking about the most recent incident with Pope Francis, and here they say the incident not only underscored the peril of symbolic gestures, and then in parentheses is Russian President Vladimir Putin the crow and Ukrainian President the seagull. Good question. It says, but it also the plight of the papal doves themselves, which have increasingly faced attack on their flight toward tranquil metaphor. While the outcome of Sunday's dove attack remains unknown, last year Pope Benedict's ceremonial dove release for victims of the Holocaust was marred when a seagull also attacked a dove and pinned it up against a window pane. And then the year before, 2 doves were released in another ceremonial flourish for World Leprosy Day, and one bird perched on the railing beside the Pope and refused to move. While the second dove was released, it immediately flew back into the Pope's apartment. So we have that. So yeah, very interesting stuff. All right, guys. So that's not all. But wait, there's more. There's something else that kind of happened over the last 24 hours. I kind of wanted to throw in here as well, just to show you. There's signs and symbols all around us, guys, and we're living in very exciting times. Now, this page is huge, so it's hard to get it all here on the camera, so I'm going to have to just kind of read a little bit. But anyway, this story is coming out of Russia over the last 24 hours. They're saying that if the reports are accurate, icons are weeping in areas of Russia as well as the Ukraine. I already read this thing earlier. You guys can do a little search for yourself if you're interested. There's actually a video here. It's a Russian video from a Russian news channel, so it seems legit, I guess, as far as mainstream legit can go. And that's where they're showing you all these pictures and statues or whatever that are crying. And there's like over a dozen. So very interesting stuff. Very interesting times and very interesting signs we're seeing out there. Again, we're all coalescing. We're all moving forward to this new world order. So be prepared spiritually, guys. Stay strong out there and, stay cool. It's going to get pretty crazy. So thanks again, and I'll talk to you here soon.